Success does not come by chance. It is not the result of luck, fate, or fortune smiling down on a chosen few. It is attracted, like iron to a magnet, by those who prepare themselves inwardly and act with boldness outwardly. If you do not command your habits will command your destiny. There are immutable laws in this world, laws as fixed as gravity, that determine who rises and who remains where they are. And if you do not learn to live in harmony with those laws, you will never taste the sweetness of victory. But if you do, if you discipline your mind, train your spirit, and direct your efforts with precision, you can write your name among the great. Today, I'm going to give you 5 winning habits. Habits that act like magnets to success. These are not suggestions. These are not ideas to be admired from afar. These are laws to be applied, principles to be lived, and habits to be mastered. Do this, and success will not just be possible, it will be inevitable. Success begins with a decision. Not a fleeting thought, not a hopeful wish, not a vague notion drifting through the mind, but a decision so firm, so specific, and so deeply rooted in conviction that it becomes the very foundation of your life. Until that decision is made, everything else is noise. Everything else is motion without meaning. A man without a definite purpose is like a ship without a rudder. He is tossed by the waves of circumstance, moved by the opinions of others, guided not by his own will, but by the winds of distraction and delay. But a man of purpose, a man who knows exactly what he wants and is willing to stake his life on its attainment, becomes unstoppable. A life bends to the will of such a man. The world yields its treasures to the one who dares to demand them with purpose in his heart and fire in his eyes. You must decide. Decide what you want. Decide what you will pursue with your whole heart. Decide the one aim that will drive your days and dominate your thoughts. This is not merely about setting goals. This is about choosing your destiny. It is about discovering the reason you rise each morning and the mission that gives your life meaning. Your definite purpose is not found. It is forged. Forged in the furnace of self-examination. Forged in the silence of reflection. Forged in the tension between who you are and who you know you were meant to become. Ask yourself, what do I desire most? Not what you wish for when times are easy, but what you crave so deeply that even in the face of hardship, you would continue to press forward. That desire, that burning desire, is the seed of your definite purpose. Once it is identified, you must feed it, nurture it, and protect it from all that would threaten to extinguish its flame. Do not allow the doubts of others to determine the size of your dream. Do not let the failures of your past become the limits of your future. Purpose is not determined by circumstances. It is determined by decision. And once the decision is made, the universe begins to move. I have seen men rise from poverty to prosperity, from obscurity to influence, from failure to triumph, all because they decided what they wanted and refused to accept anything less. I have seen purpose pull men from the pits of despair, awaken them from the slumber of mediocrity, and lift them to heights they never imagined they could reach. I have seen the light return to their eyes and the strength return to their stride the moment they declared with finality, "This is what I will do. This is who I will become." But the road will not be smooth. You will be tested. Life will attempt to break your focus. Trials will rise to question your resolve. People will doubt you. Comfort will tempt you. Fear will whisper lies in your ear. But if your purpose is clear, if it is fixed like a star in the sky, then no amount of resistance can hold you. Every obstacle becomes a teacher. Every detour becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes fuel. Because when a person is powered by purpose, they do not break, they become stronger. You must write your purpose. See it in your mind. Speak it with conviction. Repeat it every morning and every night. Let it take root in your spirit until it becomes part of you. Until it is no longer something you have to remember, but something you can never forget. The mind will work day and night to bring that purpose to pass. The thoughts you plant today become the reality you experience tomorrow. Purpose gives pain a reason. Purpose gives sacrifice its reward. A purpose gives every moment, every step, every breath, every action, meaning. Without it, success is impossible. With it, nothing is beyond your reach. This, the starting point. This is where the journey begins. Not when you feel ready, not when the timing is perfect, but now, in this moment, with a single decision. Decide who you will become. Decide what you will pursue. Decide to live not by accident, but by design delay. Do not hesitate. Do not wait for someone else to tell you what your life should be. Claim your power. Choose your purpose. And walk boldly into your destiny. Because the future does not belong to the faint of heart. It belongs to those who know what they want and are willing to pay the price to get it. The mind is the battleground of success. It is the workshop where your future is built, brick by invisible brick. Whatever you plant in the soil of your mind, faith or fear, victory or defeat, greatness or mediocrity, will grow, and it will grow with intensity. The mind is not selective about what it grows. It simply obeys. It magnifies what you feed it. So feed it wisely. Faith is the oxygen of achievement. Without it, your dreams suffocate. Without it, your actions lose power. Without it, you will retreat when you should advance, give up when you should press forward, and fall back into comfort when you are on the edge of your breakthrough. Faith is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the inner force that turns hope into movement and desire into destiny. There are two voices always speaking within you. One speaks of what is possible. The other whispers of what might go wrong. One encourages. The other paralyzes. One says, go. And the other says, wait. One is the voice of faith. The other is the voice of fear. And whichever one you listen to will direct your life. Fear is a liar. It builds mountains that do not exist. It creates prisons without walls. It convinces you that playing small is safe. But there is no safety in staying where you are. There is only stagnation. There is only regret. You were not born to retreat. You were born to rise. And faith is the weapon that cuts through the fog of fear and reveals the path to freedom. Faith is not the absence of difficulty. It is the presence of belief despite difficulty. It does not require a perfect situation. It requires a powerful decision. I have seen men with nothing but belief in themselves outlast men with wealth, talent, and opportunity. Because belief sustains where skill alone fails, faith is the force that keeps a man walking when everything around him says stop. It is the voice that says, keep going, when the world says, turn back. How do you build this kind of faith? You feed it. You speak it. You water it daily with affirmations, declarations, and unshakable thoughts. You say to yourself, I can. I will. I must. Until doubt no longer dares to speak. You must take control of what enters your mind. You must guard it like a fortress. Read what builds you. Listen to what strengthens you. Associate with those who believe in possibility and walk in boldness. Refuse to entertain thoughts of failure. Refuse to dwell in the land of what if. Replace every fear thought with one that breathes life. Every person who has accomplished anything of value has done so by first believing it could be done. Not when it was easy, not when the path was clear, but when everything around them looked impossible. That is when faith is forged, not in comfort, but in challenge, not in calm, but in chaos, not in the absence of fear, but in defiance of it. I once spoke with a man who had climbed from poverty to wealth, from insignificance to global influence. I asked him what made the difference. He said, "I refused to entertain the idea of failure. I saw it in my mind, I believed it with my whole being, and I acted as if it were already done." That is faith. That is the mindset that attracts success like metal to a magnet. That is the inner power that shapes the outer world. You must become that kind of person, the one who walks by faith, speaks with conviction, and acts with confidence. Do not wait for others to validate your dream. Do not wait for the applause of the world to give you permission to begin. Start now. Begin believing now. Take the first step, even if you cannot see the whole staircase, because movement born of faith leads to momentum, and momentum attracts the very things you need to succeed. This is your time to decide which voice you will follow. Will you feed fear and live in hesitation? Or will you feed faith and live in action? Will you shrink in the face of challenges or rise because of them? The mind is yours. The thoughts are yours. The decision is yours. And the future will be shaped by that decision. So I challenge you, right now, to commit to faith. Speak it, declare it. Live it. Let it become your lens, your language, your lifestyle. Bury fear beneath the weight of belief. Let your dreams stand taller than your doubts. And let the world see what a person can become when they are no longer ruled by fear, but fueled by faith. Because the person who believes they will win and acts accordingly has already begun to do so. The rest is simply persistence. And you have what it takes. The bridge between desire and destiny is built with discipline. Ruthless, unwavering, unbreakable self-discipline. Without it, dreams remain fantasies. Without it, plans are nothing more than words on paper. Without it, potential dies a slow death. Discipline is not a luxury of the elite. It is the foundation of all achievement. And until a man masters himself, he will never master his circumstances. There is no greatness without self-mastery. There is no success without sacrifice. The person who seeks the crown must first carry the cross of consistent effort. You will not stumble into success. You will not drift into discipline. It must be chosen. It must be carved into the soul with the tools of repetition, resistance, and relentless focus. It must become who you are, not just what you do. Most people do not fail because they lack talent. Most do not fall short because they lack opportunity. They fail because they are slaves to comfort, prisoners to distraction, addicted to ease. They chase the reward without paying the price. But success is not given. It is earned, and it demands a toll paid in full by the discipline. A disciplined man does not wait for motivation. He moves in its absence. He does not depend on feeling right. He decides to do right. He understands that success is a war, and every day he rises to fight the enemy of laziness, the seduction of excuses, and the lie that tomorrow is a better day to begin. There is no tomorrow. There is only now. And now is where discipline lies. I once knew a man who rose before the sun every single day. While the world slept, he studied. While others complained, he trained. While his friends spent weekends wasting time, he invested every hour with intention. He was not smarter. He was not stronger. But he had something rare. He had dominion over himself. And that made him dangerous. That made him powerful. That made him unstoppable. For the man who controls his habits controls his future. Discipline is choosing the pain of progress over the pain of regret. It is rising early when sleep calls you back. It is speaking truth when lies are easier. It is staying on the path when detours look appealing. And every time you choose discipline, you are shaping a future you will be proud to call your own. It will not be easy. There will be days your body protests. Your mind will plead for relief. The world will offer you shortcuts, sweet escapes, and convincing reasons to slow down. But if your purpose is clear, if your desire is burning, then you will silence the noise, grit your teeth, and keep walking. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Every disciplined act is a vote cast for the future you desire. Every time you say no to what does not serve your goal, you are saying yes to greatness. Discipline is not just about work. It is about worth. It is declaring with your actions that your dream is worth the cost, your vision is worth the fight, your future is worth the effort. And let us not confuse discipline with punishment. Discipline is not denial. It is design. It is the structure that makes freedom possible. It is the key that unlocks your highest potential. The disciplined man is not confined. He is focused. He is not limited. He is liberated. For when the flesh is ruled by the Spirit, anything is possible. The world belongs to the disciplined. The rewards are reserved for those who do what must be done, when it must be done, whether they feel like it or not. So if you would rise, if you would lead, if you would build a life that stands the test of time, you must make discipline your daily companion. You must become ruthless with your habits, relentless with your standards, and unshakable in your commitment. Let the undisciplined chase comfort. Let the distracted follow the crowd. But you must rise above. You must look in the mirror each morning and command yourself forward. You must become your own master, your own motivator, your own commander-in-chief. You will not drift into greatness. You will not stumble into significance. You will discipline your way there, step by step, choice by choice, day by day. So I leave you with this: build your discipline like a fortress. Let no excuse breach its walls. Let no delay dull its edge. And when the day is long and your strength is fading, remind yourself, this is what champions do. They press on. They show up. They endure. Because those who conquer the world must first conquer themselves. No man rises alone. No dream is achieved in isolation. Success is never built in a vacuum. It is shaped, molded, and accelerated by those we choose to surround ourselves with. If you show me the company you keep, I will show you the direction of your destiny. Because environment is not just a backdrop. It is a force, a silent architect that is either building you up or breaking you down. And the people you allow into your inner circle will either sharpen your vision or steal your fire. A purpose-driven life demands a purpose-driven circle. You cannot keep company with the mediocre and expect to rise into excellence. You cannot walk with the fearful and expect to develop boldness. You cannot align with the unfocused and expect to stay committed to your calling. Greatness is contagious, but so is failure. And if you are not deliberate with your associations, you will find your own standards slipping, your own fire dimming, your own voice growing faint beneath the noise of distraction. Every person you allow into your space is planting something in the garden of your mind. Some plant weeds, seeds of doubt, seeds of fear, seeds of complacency. Others bring water, words that nourish, encourage, strengthen, and awaken. You must decide who stays and who goes, who feeds your faith and who fuels your fears, who calls you higher and who keeps you grounded in comfort. Because your life cannot rise if your circle is pulling you down. There is a reason eagles do not fly in flocks. There is a reason the lion does not consult with sheep. Power recognizes power. Purpose finds its echo in others who are also committed to growth. You must surround yourself with those who are not afraid to tell you the truth, not afraid to challenge your laziness, not afraid to push you when you become too comfortable. You need voices in your life that won't let you settle, because they see your potential more clearly than you see your current limitations. I once knew a man who had talent beyond measure, vision, drive, the fire to do something great. But he walked with those who had no hunger, no ambition, no dream burning in their chest. They convinced him to slow down. They laughed at his focus. They pulled him off the path, not by force, but by influence. And slowly he changed, not in ability, but in belief, not in talent, but in purpose. His fire died because he chose comfort over calling. And that choice, who he let shape his mind, cost him a destiny he could have reached. Iron sharpens iron. The right people do not just agree with you. They challenge you. They don't just comfort you. They correct you. They remind of who you are when you've forgotten. They hold up the mirror and show your strength when all you see is struggle. And when you fall, they do not pity you. They lift you up, dust you off, and demand that you rise again. If you would succeed, you must build a mastermind, a circle of focused minds, burning with belief, committed to growth, devoted to vision. People who think in terms of how it can be done, not why it can't. People who talk in action, not excuses. People who understand the language of purpose and walk it every day. You will become like the people you spend the most time with, whether you intend to or not. Their habits will become your habits. Their mindset will become your mindset. Their energy will fuel or drain your own. Choose wisely. Choose fiercely. And do not apologize for protecting your purpose. This is not about arrogance. It is about alignment. It is not about superiority. It is about strategy. You were not created for average. You were born for impact. And you must walk with those who see it, who speak it, who push you to live it. Let your circle be your catalyst. Let their vision elevate yours. Let their faith strengthen yours. And let their presence remind you daily that you are not alone in your pursuit of greatness. So make the decision. Today, not tomorrow. Audit your associations. Look at every person in your circle and ask, do they push me forward or pull me back? Do they ignite my purpose or smother it with doubt? Do they stand with me in truth or whisper comfort in compromise? Be honest. Be ruthless. Be clear. Because the road to greatness is not crowded, but it is not empty. And when you walk it with the right people beside you, you will move with confidence, with clarity, and with unstoppable momentum. Choose your circle as though your future depends on it, because it does. There will be moments, dark, difficult, discouraging moments, when everything in you wants to quit, when the plan doesn't go as planned, when doors close, when people betray, when what you built with hope crumbles beneath your feet. These are not the signs of defeat. These are the markings of the forge, and what you do in those moments, how you think, how you respond, how you rise, will determine everything. Because the setback is never the end. It is the setup, the turning point, the moment of decision where weakness is either surrendered to or turned into strength. Life will test you, not to destroy you, but to define you. The wind does not break the oak tree. It strengthens its roots. The fire does not consume gold. It purifies it. And adversity, though bitter in the moment, contains within it the very seed of your advancement. The obstacle is not in the way. It is the way. And every successful man, every woman of power, every story of triumph is marked by seasons of trial that were met not with fear, but with faith. Not with retreat, but resolve. There is a law written in the fabric of all success: resistance builds strength. The storm reveals the sailor. The struggle reveals the soul. Those who become great are not spared from hardship. They are shaped by it. They do not cry out when pressure comes. They rise under its weight. They do not ask for life to be easier. They demand of themselves to become stronger. That is the difference. That is what separates those who rise from those who fold. I knew a man who lost everything: his money, his business, his reputation. One moment he stood at the height of prosperity, and the next he stood in the ruins of what once was. But he made a decision, a powerful, personal, unshakable decision. He would not be defined by the fall. He would be defined by the fight. And day by day, brick by brick, he rebuilt. Not just his business, but himself. He found in the ashes a fire, and from that fire, he rose higher than he had ever gone before. Because he used the setback to see what he had never seen before in his true strength, his deeper wisdom, his relentless will. Attitude. Understand this truth: failure is never final unless you allow it to be. You are not defeated when you fall. You are only defeated when you refuse to rise. The greatest advantage you will ever have is your ability to turn adversity into advantage, to stand in the ruins and declare, "This will not break me. This will make me." That is the spirit that wins. That is the mindset that attracts success. When the world says, "Give up," your purpose must shout, "Get up." When your plans fall apart, your faith must step forward. When the path disappears, your persistence must blaze a new one. Because every setback contains a question: will you quit, or will you grow? And those who grow, those who dig deeper, stand taller, think sharper, become unstoppable. You must become like water, fluid yet unbreakable. Water finds a way through stone. Water adapts, persists, and wears down the seemingly immovable. You too must flow forward. Around the wall, under the barrier, through the failure. Let nothing stop your movement. Let nothing steal your resolve. And if you think you've failed too many times, let me tell you this: you are still breathing. Therefore, you have not failed. You are not buried. You are being planted. And if you choose to believe that, then every loss is a lesson. Every delay is direction. Every no is a nudge towards something greater. There is no wasted pain when you decide to use it. There is no meaningless failure when you extract the wisdom. So take the setback and mine it for truth. Take the pain and turn it into fuel. Take the disappointment and let it drive you deeper into discipline. Refuse to let your story end in the valley. Make the valley your classroom. Let it teach you how to rise. Let it show you what you're made of. The world will admire your success, but it is your struggle that will build it. The heights you reach will only be as high as the depths you endured and overcame. And you, yes, you, have within you the fire to endure, the strength to overcome, the power to rise. Decide now that no matter what comes, you will not break. That setbacks will not shake your faith, but strengthen your foundation. That failure will not become your identity, but your initiation, that you will not retreat. You will advance. You will grow. You will become. Let the world watch. Let the doubters whisper. Let the storm rage. But you will stand tall, because setbacks do not stop the one who has decided to succeed. And when they ask how you made it, tell them this: I used every setback as a stepping stone, and I never stopped climbing. Now you know the truth. Success does not come by accident. It does not knock on the door of the lazy or sit patiently by the idle. It comes to the one who is prepared, who is purposeful, who is relentless. The one who has forged winning habits into the fabric of their daily life. The one who wakes each morning with clarity, who thinks with intention, who walks with discipline, who surrounds themselves with greatness, and who transforms every setback into a setup for something greater. These 5 principles are not theories. They are laws, unseen, unbreakable, unyielding. They govern the path to success like gravity governs the earth. Ignore them and you drift. Obey them and you rise. They are the blueprint, the foundation, the compass that will guide you from where you are to where you were always meant to be. And now the choice is yours. Will you walk forward in power, or will you shrink back into passivity? Will you build these principles into your life, or will you simply admire them from afar? The gap between the life you have and the life you want is not luck, talent, or fate. It is belief. It is action. Daily, deliberate, disciplined action. You have what it takes. You always have. But now you must use it. Decide what you want. Burn it into your mind. Align your habits with your purpose. Build your faith through focused thought. Surround yourself with the courageous, the determined, the purposeful. And when the storm comes, as it surely will, stand firm. Let it shape you, not shake you. Let it forge your will into steel, because the world does not reward intentions. It rewards execution. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to definite action, fueled by belief, backed by discipline, driven by purpose. So go now, not with hesitation, but with hunger. Not with fear, but with faith. Let today be the line in the sand. The day you stopped watching and started working. The day you stopped doubting and started deciding. The day you stepped into your greatness. Not someday, not later, but now. You are the architect of your future, the builder of your destiny. The time to rise is not tomorrow. It is today. Good luck on your journey. And remember, fortune follows the focused. Thank you.